Yeah, yeah, this is a beauty. Oh, hey, how you doing, fellas? It's your boy Meta, coming to you from the Metaverse, wrestling representing SPW, Singapore Pro Wrestling, and you're watching Wrestle Geeks.
Welcome everybody to Wrestle Geeks ReCaps. We are here recapping Impact Wrestling for May 6th. I am your host, the geek, Trevor Firth. I am being joined by the cream in your coffee, Jordan Talbot.
Welcome back.
And our current Impact Predictions champion, the modern day Viking, Jay Scriven.
How we doing, guys?
Can't complain.
Pretty good, man. So, right off the bat, Jordan, you weren't here last week when we started the top threes. So, if you want to start off with doing your top three Canadian to catch up, I leave it to you.
All right, top three, very easy. I'm not going to put them in any order. I'm just going to say three of the best Canadian wrestlers I know. Channing Decker. I have said that a million times. He is, in my opinion, the best unsigned talent in Canada right now. Impact, AEW. Somebody signed this guy. This guy is the man. Next, I would have to say is Owen Hart, of course. The greatest Canadian wrestler of all time. You can't put Canadian wrestling without thinking of the King of Hearts. And the third, this one's tough. I'm trying to think of a third one. I want to go with someone different. I'm going to go with, I'm going to say the master of the stunner. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Sorry, Austin. It's been taken from you by the greatest of all time, Kevin Owens.
That's a good list, man. And Kevin Owens is a great third pick.
I was trying to think of a female wrestler, guys. Sorry, I couldn't think of anything. And now I just did after I finished my list. So horrible.
Honorable mention, go.
They're a tag team called the Canadian Ninjas. It's a female tag team in Shimmer Wrestling.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Two awesome women. Check out their matches. I might have gotten their name wrong, but I just know them as the Canadian Ninjas. And no, they don't dress up as ninjas.
That's a shame.
That's a shame. I kind of agree. I want to see that.
Well, wait for a name.
Right. When it comes to things going on outside of Impact right now, the two Impact belts finally made their debut in AEW a week later.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. Nakazawa walked in carrying all of Kenny's extra belts.
Which I have no problem. I loved it.
That was great. It was fun.
I don't understand Bully Ray's problem with it.
Whatever.
I've got a problem. The Impact belts aren't being shown on fucking Impact.
Yeah, I know. That's shit. I agree.
We've had no Impact title there. Like even in this week's episode when Kenny did a segment, it was just all over the place. Like all you could see was the AEW title, no Impact title, no TNA title, and it's just very disappointing.
I actually love that they're doing that with the title, because to me it's almost like holding the belt hostage. Like, you're not going to see the belt until he says you should see the belt. So what's a bigger middle finger to a company than saying, I'm not even signed to your company and I have your belt?
Yeah. Also, I will say Blood and Guts was really good. I enjoyed it.
Beautiful.
I enjoyed it.
Ugh, I loved it. It's anytime a War Games match lives up to a War Games expectation, I'm very happy.
I like the top of the cell.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
I like that. I like that version of it. It was cool. Did you end up seeing Blood and Guts, Jay? I know you don't really watch AEW.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, so let's go into BTI then. BTI was just literally showing recaps of all the matches again. I did like the Jessica Havoc versus Rosemary, like the debut of Nevaeh as the flashback moment. That was cool, I guess. That was fun. But yeah, the only thing worth mentioning right away is Iceman again, which is not really worth saying much about other. He's just like, hey, somebody's really pissed off about the match, about the fact that they lost their qualifying match, and they're throwing a fit, and they're really, really pissed off. And I'm like, well, let's see. Jake something lost because Rohit, but he's a face. Brian Myers lost, and then Eddie Edwards lost. I'm like, so Brian Myers is throwing a hissy fit. Gotcha.
Yeah. Not really hiding it well, what they're trying to say.
I don't know, it was pointless again. More pointless.
Iceman Intel, it's just a joke. Like, really is now. It's gone past anything. Now, like I said before, I looked forward to it, and now it's just boring.
Yeah. But the match was Jake something versus Shira, who had Raju at his ringside, and this is a pretty good match overall. This is a good match that was like for two big guys, just two big guys going at it, beating the hell out of each other. It was a good old school match. Nice steady back and forth. I enjoyed it for what it was. Rohit causes a distraction at the end. So what ends up happening is Jake something goes to hit him. Shira comes up behind Jake. Jake ducks it, hits Rohit, and that ends up letting Jake hit his finisher to get him the win against Shira. So it was okay. Overall, like, it was a pretty straightforward match. And I think it was pretty obvious that Jake something was going to win right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I have no problem with it because I still have nothing but faith in Jake something being a main eventer for Impact. I still have no doubt in my mind he will be.
Yeah, one day. When they have the space for him in the main event scene. But the first, unless Jay, do you have anything to add about the match?
No.
No, right? It's just a straightforward, basic match. Opening match though was a qualifier between Chris Sabin and Rhino. So the winner of this match goes into the six-person match. I don't know what that's called off the top of my head.
I think it's just like a number one contenders match. I'd just say that's the simplest thing.
It's a six-person number one contenders match. It doesn't have a fancy name like Fatal 4-Way or anything like that. But, I mean, I kind of wish it was an elimination match. Not going to lie. I think that would make it more interesting. And when it comes to the match itself, though, this is, I mean, I don't know. I was kind of bored with it. I don't know about you guys. The match was just kind of just like, yeah. We have Violent by Design at ringside causing a little bit of shit. We have James Storm helping out. And ultimately, Sabin wins in the end. Which, I'm like, yeah, Violent by Design is just completely buried. Is getting completely buried at this point. Like, I feel like Morrissey just took all of the momentum that Violent by Design had and just took it for himself. And though Violent by Design is kind of just left in the dust. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but that's how I feel.
I think, first of all, I'm happy Chris Sabin won. I thought, it was cool that he got the win. Chris Sabin is going to really, I think, be a real great part of the match, of the big number one contenders match. As for Violent by Design, I don't want to say they're buried because I don't want to jump on that too quickly.
They're getting there for me. But, Jay?
No, I agree. I think another loss for Violent by Design is the wrong way to go. The only thing that I'm hoping is that Rhino uses his trophy for something. Rhino looks strong in this match, but again, another loss on top of another loss is just another loss, isn't it? You know what I mean? Just makes you look weaker and weaker.
Yeah. I just feel like Rhino should have won it. Like, I don't feel like Chris Chris Sabin winning it or losing it, I don't feel like it really affects him. But I feel like Rhino needed the win more, personally. Anyway, maybe I just want to see Rhino in that match really bad. Next, we go backstage. We get, what did I say? Brian Myers throwing a hissy fit.
I love this.
Gia Miller shows up, and he's just instantly, I love the line he uses, he's just like, why are you everywhere? Or why are you always here?
Oh, God, this segment was just awesome.
Look, that was good. But go ahead, man. Jordan, take, like...
So Brian is pissed off. He's angry, throwing a hissy fit. He goes to throw a table. Then we get the glitch on the screen. And holy crap, Rosemary looked so damn good on that table. Like, she looked like the best, like, oh, God. All I need is her on a table, and I would never need food again. But she's like playing, she literally lays the cards out for Brian Myers' career, literally. Like, she's putting cards in front of him, and he's going to do something, and then all of a sudden, your man, Trev, Taurus comes in, and just, it looked like he actually hit him with the horn. That's what I thought at first, when he, like, bashed him.
He's a big head.
And, man, Taurus just is scary. Like, he was scary looking in this. I mean, that's why I like Decay. They got one guy who's scary, one guy who's crazy, and the girl that is my dream woman.
That's great, dude. I love that.
My girlfriend Rebecca, she knows. Rebecca knows.
Oh, anything to add, Jay, about the promo segment?
Or Rosemary. I'll throw that in there.
No, I don't.
He's not crazy comments about Rosemary. But next we go into the promo segment that you kind of foreshadowed a little bit there, Jay. So you might as well just rant about it a little more. Kenny Omega, Good Brothers. All you can see is the AEW title just on the edge of the camera, with the camera constantly trying to focus on it.
It's just So for the promo itself, you got Callis and the Good Brothers Kenny backstage, and they're talking about how we need a win. And Kenny says, "I used to be a high school girls basketball coach," and Doc's like, "That's what I need." That was fucking hilarious. But the disrespect to me of them not having the Impact title, like, just anywhere to be seen, you know, it's just too much. You know, this is a company that is come and taking the title, and I understand what you're saying. You know, that's what he's trying to do, but even just having it there at some point, at any point, you know, Don Callis could even be holding it as he's actually the CEO of the company. You know,
they need Nakazawa. Just have Nakazawa standing there with all the belts.
Oh, yes. But like I said, I had no problem with... I loved the segment. Like, the line you said, Jay, was hilarious. But like I said, I have no problem with it because it'll make whoever beats Kenny for the belt that much more of a, you know... it'll be just so much more better for when whoever beats Kenny for the belt.
So much more better?
Yeah. It will.
That's
Whoever does.
Yes. There's one thing I forgot to mention about BTI. I loved it when Gia Miller started dancing and singing Susan's theme song. I'm not gonna lie, that was hilarious, and I'm sitting here going, I know, right?
that was funny.
But yeah, that spins into Susan versus Taylor Wilde. So so Jay, go ahead, man. How'd the match go down?
So, okay, so Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K come out. Caleb stops Kimberly, who's at side with Susan, attacking Taylor Wilde. And Dashwood, at this point, Dashwood like attacks Susan on the ropes. Wild comes in. She gets like a suplex on Susan and gets the pin.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I do like how Taylor Wilde kind of just rolls out of the ring instantly at the end of the match.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, this is a pretty good match. Like, Susan made Wilde look really good.
Mm-hmm.
There was only one part of the where so Tennille Dashwood's doing like a head scissors, and it's the only thing that looked a bit sloppy in the whole match.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Jordan?
I did love the fact in the end that Tennille and Caleb with the K both jumped in to, celebrate with Taylor Wilde, and she immediately is just like, no, guys, we're not friends.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. It furthers that story along a little bit. And then we instantly cut backstage to Gianna being interviewed by Gia.
Mm-hmm.
Being asked, like, well, why don't we see you at ringside with Susan and Kimberly? And she's like, well, they need to earn it.
And I love that.
Yep. And Rosemary steps in, calling
Be
her
still
out.
my heart. Be still my heart.
Yeah, like, oh, Jordan's gonna love this episode. Rosemary's twice.
I almost had a heart attack. So much Rose.
But she calls her a coward, saying, like, since she won the title, she's been, now she's running away. At first, she had the big talk, and then Havoc comes in as Deanna tries to step away. So Deanna just instantly does what any good cowardly heel champion should do and go, okay, I'm gonna go talk to management. You guys can have a number one contendership match next week. Bye.
Loved it.
That was good. That was
I
good.
loved how
Segment.
the stare down between Havoc and Rosemary was just awesome.
I love how they foreshadowed this on BTI with that flashback.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, clever. Yeah. Clever.
And I really think these two are the best two to face Deanna next. Really, in my opinion.
I mean, either or I'm happy with. I'm not going to lie. I think I'd rather see Havoc go up against her right now.
You already know my answer.
Mostly because I don't want to see Rosemary lose it. If Rosemary goes up against her right now, Rosemary's going to lose. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
I'm too blinded by love. I can't agree with that.
You're just like, what are you talking about? Rosemary's going to win. I don't give a shit.
Rosemary's going to win, and then she's going to wink at the camera, and I'm going to have a heart attack.
I mean, okay, it's official now. If Rosemary wins the title anytime soon, I'm just going to text you. You good? Do I need to call an ambulance? If I don't get a reply within 5 minutes, dude, I'm calling an ambulance. Remember this.
I will die a happy man.
Anything to add, Jay?
Besides hoping I die?
Again, I won't have it.
Do you want to talk about the vignette that happens next?
Yeah, so we get a thing from W. Morrissey. He's just saying, like, all friends and family and all that fans are just phonies. I'm going to be better than I ever was, kind of thing. And I'm going to make you all feel the pain that I felt, which was very, like, hard hitting, really, if you think what he's gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward classic heel promo, but when you know what he's gone through, you feel every word, because like he means a lot of that.
The line that was the line that stole the promo was where he said, "You guys know me as one half of a catchphrase."
Absolutely.
That was perfect. That's when I was like, because when whenever you see a popular babyface go heel in another company, you go, okay, can he do it? This will shut anybody up because it literally was not. Everyone's like, oh, this ain't Big Cass anymore.
No, and like the videos, like the video quality itself, the package, despite having very little footage of him, really
Yeah,
think about it.
unbelievable.
He's had 2 matches. That was really good. That was very well done. My only downside is there's a little too much yelling.
Who knew he could cut such a good promo, though?
Yeah.
Right? Standing next to like Enzo all those years, letting Enzo talk, and turns out this guy had this in him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is what I think people were in WWE were hoping he'd be when he turned heel.
Yeah. I mean, like, he buckled under the pressure, like he said, and then everybody just, like, ditched him. So, I mean, I liked it. It was good. Third match of the night, another qualifying match for the number one contendership, Rohit Raju versus Trey Miguel. Jay, how do you feel about
so
that?
this is my match.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible match. You
Oh
know,
my God, yeah.
first of all, I'm just going to mention Trey's jacket is like super sweet. It's so badass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he counters Trey hourglass and goes for a pin. Sorry, one sec. Yeah, Trey kicks out, blocks Rohit's flying boot, locking in his submission for the win. But this match, oh my God, honestly, this match gets my J++. It really was the best match of the night for me. It was.
Agree. Bad match of the night. Jordan?
Oh, I knew this was going to be match of the night because if everybody knows, I sing the praises of Rohit as
Same,
much as
man.
anybody.
We
And
all
Trey,
love
Trey is just shutting everyone up every time. Like, this is now proving he is not that other. He's not a rascal anymore. He's a fucking main eventer. And these two guys, like, man, Impact Wrestling has so many young guys that are going to be big stars. Like, it's amazing how much, like, talent they have of young guys.
Absolutely agree.
There was a part where, like, Rohit and Trey were locked up, like, with their hands. And Trey jumps over Rohit's arm and, like, still locked up and lands up behind him. That blew my mind. Honestly, this match was so good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the lockup where Rohit pushes Trey up into the corner and Trey just walks up the turnbuckle pads. That was great. I loved it.
Unbelievable. I'll admit it. I was one of those people when Trey came into Impact. I was like, he's going to have great matches, but is he going to be somebody I can believe is going to be a main eventer? But man, he is just shutting everyone up. I have no problem admitting I'm on the bandwagon now of him being a main eventer.
Oh, yeah, he did absolutely incredible. And then we go after the match. Jake Something storms the ring and attacks Rohit and Shearer because they cost him his chance at Under Siege.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of that?
I hated it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm okay. Well, what was the point of the BTI match? Why didn't Jake Something just beat after winning the match on BTI? Why didn't he beat them both down then? And then Rohit goes in with selling a very slight injury. And then next week, what do we hear from Rohit? That injury is the only reason I lost. Instantly. If it wasn't for Jake Something, I would have beaten Trey Miguel and I'd be in the number one contendership match. Instant gold. Here you go.
Yep, that's what he does.
How is that storyline not? I mean, like, it's an obvious storyline, but at the same time, it's one that you know you can rely on, and it's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you, if you're going to keep doing Jake something versus Rohit and Shira, well, I think that would have been a smarter way to keep it going. Personally.
Yeah.
Let Rohit play the victim card.
Oh, definitely.
He's
That would've
good.
been-
He's good at it.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. That's how I felt about it, Jordan. I don't like. You said you liked it, but
Yeah, I
change
like the
your
little.
opinion.
I know I'm gonna stay on it that I like it because, like I said, I think Jake something and Shira. I really want to see them have a match at Under Siege. I want to see them on a bigger stage, not on the pre-show, which is really what BTI is.
Yeah.
But I really want to see them have like a bigger platform to really have a hard-hitting match because they could have that.
These two could put on a really good match, I think. And you guys know I don't like Shira that much, so.
And next we go into. I'll let Jordan take this one.
We go into the greatest place that has ever been created. We go to Swingers Palace, where everyone's gambling. Alicia Edwards is not doing well. At one point, she loses her last 3 chips, and Swinger has the line of the day of saying, "Hey, if you're out of fish and chips, you're off this boat. Walk the plank, sea hag." Which was like, oh god.
I love how she's just like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, and
I'm like,
Cardona Cardona just looks at him and is like, I think that means you have to leave. And Johnny Swinger even makes Hernandez hilarious in this, where he goes, "Senior Hernandaddy, get her off this boat."
That was good.
I was like, how is that not a shirt, Hernandaddy? I would actually like that shirt. And you got Trey coming in, and he's like all pumped up after the win. He says, the money's on me. Plays with Chris Bay's charm, and I love Chris Bay's shirt, by the way. Bay of the Week. I love that shirt so much that, like, I don't know if it's Bay or Bays of the Week, but it was just awesome. And he's just talking about, like, I'm gonna win, and Chris Bay is also saying that. Cardona says he's here to win championships, and Chris Bay has a great line where he says, "Oh yeah, that's believable, a toy guy."
Right.
Like, ooh, that's mean. But then he says, if you're gonna put your money on, you bet your bet on Bay. And Chris Sabin, to me, was the star of this thing.
Yeah, instantly goes, I like what you said there. Had a lot of bees in it.
Bees in it, yeah. He said he had a lot of bees, and I'm like, oh my god, Chris Sabin, you fucking beautiful man. But Chris Sabin's talking about how he's a former champion, he could win. And Chris Bay, is stirring the pot a little bit with him and James Storm. And James Storm says, like, I'm a former champion and 119 tag team champion. And I'm like, I would not be shocked if he has 119 tag team titles under his reign. And man, but Chris Sabin just had some of the best lines in this thing. Like Chris Bay asking James Storm, "What's your favorite tag team?" Was it AMW? Was it Beer Money? Or was it, Gun Money? And he's just like, "Hey, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to say, don't ask questions like that."
Sabin slams the table and screams. Like, what the? I like that. It was random.
Like,
But
Chris
I love
Sabin
how much
was
shit Chris Bay was talking, though. I really did. I'm like, man, he's making up for all the time he missed for his injury.
Chris Bay is just awesome. I always love watching him. But Chris Sabin, man, just made me laugh so hard with, there was a line with Alicia where she was like, "But I love this place." It's like, yeah, I love this place too. And I think that's Chris Sabin at his best, where he's just like, he's just the guy there. And he's the Kyle O'Reilly of the group when he says things that are hilarious.
He's just like the generic guy.
But you can't pull
love-
off Kyle O'Reilly wearing an Eazy-E shirt. That's impossible. That was the greatest thing ever.
But yeah, Jay.
I love the fact that we have James Storm that he doesn't need Sabin to beat Moose. And he's like, yeah, it's fine, I'll get to the ring about Saban. And Saban turns around and goes, swing around to number 2. Looks like you're with me tonight.
Oh, I love that Swinger also says to Alicia, if you need a job, I got one for you at Swinger's Palace.
Okay, no. Most dangerous thing in the world, as Alicia Edwards, as any woman, why would you ever say the words, I'll do anything to Johnny Swinger? Like, what are you doing? Don't say those words to him. You don't know what you're getting into.
Hey, Swinger runs a respectable establishment. I don't know what you're thinking. Have you read his Kijiji scores? His Kijiji reviews? They are amazing.
She's going to be Swingerella number 4, okay? And you know it.
Hey, the Kijiji reviews do not lie. Of
They all
Swinger's
written by him.
Palace. No, they're all written by me, but that's not the point.
That's good. Oh.
I think my personal favorite review was that you can't spell Swinger's Palace without win. Which is why people go there.
That's good. Fuck.
Oh my god.
Disrespect at Swinger's Palace. That disgusts me.
Next we have Gallows versus Juice Robinson.
Yeah, no, oh Lord.
So Jay, break down the match for us, man.
Yeah, so you get it was a good match. You get so the end of the match is Anderson, Callis, and Kenny distracting Juice Robinson, allowing Doc to move away, and then Doc hits the big leaping boot and gets the sit out choke bomb for the pin.
Yep. It was nothing too fancy. Little post-match beatdown where I was just like, come on, Eddie. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like their
Eddie doesn't.
Sorry.
I like that they're at least, building this up, not just, oh, it's just on that show. At least Eddie is legitimately, coming out to help. Yeah.
Jay, anything to
add? Eddie doesn't get to make the save. He just gets beaten down because the number game is too much for him, really. Finn Juice have already been beaten down. That was the end of it. I think I look forward to this match. Unfortunately, next week we've got Carl Anderson versus Dave Finlay, and I don't know. I think when there's a team coming up at a pay-per-view facing each other, and you always get the one partner versus the one partner, and then the next week is the other partner versus the other partner. I just think it's a bit repetitive. Look, the same thing with the Knockouts tag team division later on, and it just it's just a bit too.
I'm actually very excited for that match, Dave Finlay and Carl Anderson. I know that's going to be a good match.
I mean, we haven't seen these yet. At least there's that.
That's
I'm not saying I'm not looking forward to the match. I think the way that, wrestling is a way with a tag team facing each other at a pay-per-view, you always have the one partner versus the other partner, and it's just a bit stale to me, really.
Yeah. I understand why it's easily relied upon, because it is easy storytelling, that it's something you can just fall back on very quickly. And yeah, totally would do that. I would totally do that at an indie show that I'd book. I'm not gonna lie. I'd have both, but I'd do it in the same night.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean. I'd have them facing each other in singles matches in the same night.
Yeah,
that's different. And then next time we come back to this area, then you do the tag team match for the belts or whatever.
Yeah, it's very simple booking. I know so many people who do that.
It depends on the size of the roster you have and whatnot, but Impact has been relying on it too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to add about this match, so we can go right into the next one, which
we get a little segment.
Oh.
We get a little segment where Diana's leaving and Scott Caesar.
Oh, it's true.
Yep. Good old Scott D'Amore.
It's only but it just sets up Rosemary versus Havoc, and the winner of that will face Diana at Under Siege.
I do love the fact that he plays it so off. He's like, I love that idea. You are a smart champion. You know what? We're gonna do that, and you're gonna face one of them. I mean, hey, good for you. You are, yeah, you.
You should sit on our bookings. Like, she should come in doing our bookings.
God.
Yeah, no, that was a fun little segment. I had forgotten that this is where it happens. But we get VSK, which VSK is pretty good. He's a good kid. Like, I've seen him around. He's got great ability. But El Phantasmo.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes. So pumped to see El Phantasmo.
So happy.
He's such a prick.
That's what I love about it. I love how good it is.
Hold on. He's Canadian, isn't he?
Damn right.
No, I'll be honest.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, that's great.
He's a Canadian prick.
I love it. The moment he said he was from Canada, I was like, oh, there we go. Trevor's going to love him.
Breaking down the fucking stereotypes. See? We can be assholes too. This guy oozes being a prick. Like, that's his whole existence is being an asshole.
It is funny how when people hear his name and don't see a picture, when they think El Phantasmo, they automatically think he's a luchador from Mexico.
Yeah, of course. But it's because he's so, like, flashy and in your face, and I can't wait for him to really start. Like, this is a good little first introduction. But I can't wait for the #1 contendership match.
Yes.
What I loved most about this match is they didn't make it a squash match. VSK really got some good offense in there.
Yeah. And that's what Phantasmo is best at. He's not good at squash matches. He's an asshole. He's a prick. He needs the face to actually get some offense in so he can be a prick. Like, he cheats a lot. Like, he is one of the best cheaters in pro wrestling today. So, because he makes it believable.
I've got to say, they made VKS look amazing, even though he lost. Like, that is true.
Yep.
You know, and Phantasmo, like, to win, he hit a spinning heel kick, which looked amazing, and then he followed it up with the sudden death super kick to get the pin. And honestly, but VKS got a couple of near falls, which, you know, the match could have gone either way. The whole way through it, the match could have gone either way.
I love that.
I think this is two amazing people to add to the X Division in my eyes.
Yep.
Does anyone know what VSK stands for?
They did say it when it came out, but I didn't write it down.
I'll have to look it up.
But I love how at the end of the match, how El Phantasmo gets the pin. How does he have the referee raise his arm? He doesn't. He has him raise his foot. Then he tries to kiss his foot, which, oh my God, I was like,
he's such a prick.
I love it. It's so good.
He does the weirdest things. Like, I love how he got in. He got in the ring announcer's face too, right before, and he's too sweet to his forehead. Like, El Phantasmo also, like, he's part of the Japanese Bullet Club. He's part of Thomas Honga's Bullet Club.
Yep.
So him being here, what does that mean? He's the scout? He's the scout, right?
It would be amazing. It would be awesome.
They're teasing
They even mentioned is here representing the Bullet Club as well.
Sorry?
They the commentary even said that is here representing Bullet Club.
Yeah. Yeah. They're sowing the seeds, man. I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, Bullet Club's so big, they're going to represent anywhere they go. You're not going to acknowledge it. You're not going to not acknowledge it, I should say.
Yeah. Next, we get Kiera Hogan versus Rachel Ellering. And I was pleasantly surprised. Man, I have to take... Yeah, no. Rachel Ellering has officially, like, made me take my words back and shut me up. Like, I'm happy about that, too. Like, she's good. Kiera Hogan, I feel like she was definitely doing a lot of the directing in this match. But this was a good match overall. Like, both women, like Kiera Hogan, is dominant in ring. I love it.
I will just add, I'm just going to add this. I am very happy that Jordan Grace has resigned.
Yes. So has anybody else noticed the weird trend that Impact will put a belt on someone when they're right before their contract is up? Like when they gave Deanna the belt, Deanna hadn't even signed a contract yet.
That was a very brave move.
Yeah.
They do things like that often.
Especially what happened with Tessa. Is it Tessa Blanchard?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very brave move on Impact's part, but it worked out well for them.
Yeah. And then they did the same thing here with the Knockouts belt, right? Like they gave them to Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering, and Jordan Grace is staying. Which, good on her, because that's the right decision. You have the belt. Whatever you agree upon for your... I don't know how long it's going to be that she resigned, but that's cool. I'm happy.
It's a multi-year contract, so at least 2, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But my thing with Jordan Grace, you know, she's such a good athlete, such a good ring worker that I'm so glad she's re-signed with Impact Wrestling. But if she hadn't, I would have worried about anywhere else she'd gone and how they'd made her look.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only reasonable place she could have gone is AEW, because she would have just been a nothing on WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she could have been the female member of the Pinnacle if she would have gone to AEW. That could have been an interesting use for her.
I don't know if I could hate her, though. She's just impossible to hate.
Good point.
That's the thing. Like, really, look at her and tell me.
She's not a good... Yeah,
her.
no, she doesn't really make... I can't really see her as a heel.
I feel like I'd hate her, but I'd hug her at the same time.
But no, for me, the match was good. Was a good, clean, back and forth match. But Jay, go ahead.
Yeah. So as Hogan runs in to do a big strike, Rachel catches her, slamming Hogan with the boss woman slam, which honestly I thought she went through the ring at one point. It was that powerful. It looks really good.
It looks really clean, really, really badass. I loved it.
Don't mess with Big Mama Pump.
Yeah.
They both look awesome.
I just have to say, though, as well, like, Kiera Hogan just, like, doesn't matter who she works with, man. Like, she's so goddamn good. She makes everybody think $1 million.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The attitude, the nonstop talking, like, she's so good. Then we go into... I like how they did this, I'm not going to lie. We go into, like, where they're about to cut to commercials. We have Moose getting ready, right? They have the music playing. And it's just like, up next, Moose, blah, blah, blah. And then Don Callis just walks into the shot.
Yep.
While it's happening, and there's like, they just cut the music. And Moose looks so unimpressed. He's just like, what do you want, Don? So
I loved this promo. I loved this because it's pretty much, when you think about it, just real life how it would work. Because Don Callis is pretty much saying to Moose, why do you have to qualify? You're Mr. Impact Wrestling. You're a guy who should be right in front of the line for a title shot.
No, I agree. And the whole thing, the way they've made Moose, when it comes to Under Siege, I really don't know who's going to win. Is it going to be Sami Callihan or is it going to be Moose? I'm
on the same boat.
They're my two people that I've got for the match. I really don't know which one to pick. The only that's making me sway the other way is Moose's contract's up in June. Yeah. Maybe Moose will win it and lose to Kenny and then leave, but it's just one of those, Moose was really just not having any of Callis at all, was he?
Yeah. Oh, it was like Moose knows exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to, soften him up. And it's just brilliant. It's just simple storytelling, and I love it. Like, to me, the best way to look at it is Don Callis knows that Moose will give Kenny Omega a war and probably even a bigger fight than Rich Swann. So you're going to do everything you can to tell the other guys, like, come on, why are you here in Impact? Like, come on, man, you don't have to. If you're in AEW, you'd be like the number. You didn't say that, but I got that context. I got was if you were in AEW, you wouldn't be qualifying for a match. You'd get the main event.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. If Moose's contract does run up and he leaves Impact Wrestling, where do you actually see him going?
I see him going to AEW.
I see him going to AEW to get the Impact title.
You think?
Yep.
Yeah, but if he goes to AEW, if he signs with AEW next, if he actually signs with AEW next, he's not going to get the Impact title to bring it back to Impact, though, is he?
I don't think he's actually going to sign with AEW. I think it's just going to be what we're told.
I have to wait and see that then.
I mean, think about it. Realistically, think about this. If Moose, Don Callis, Kenny Omega, and Tony Khan are the only 4 people that know that Moose is not actually signed to AEW, right?
Yeah.
Because they're the only ones. They can pull that off. They can pull off a storyline like that where Moose is not actually signed to AEW. Now, like, I would love for that because that's like some of the craziest like meta thinking. But also, I like the idea of Moose being a plant in AEW. I like the idea of Moose being in AEW representing Impact. Period.
I like it. It'd work.
I love that idea. I see him actually signing with WWE. It's not what I want. It's not what I want. I absolutely love Moose, and I think he's such an important part of Impact. But I see him signing with WWE, and I see him going to NXT, being the champion there, maybe even eventually going down and facing Bobby Lashley.
I can't lie. I would love to see him wrestle Karrion Kross.
Look, I'll say the career trajectory does make sense for Moose as well. Because I've said it a lot, he's one of the most WWE feeling guys on like that's not in WWE. But that being said, that's kind of his appeal. Like, if he'd go to WWE, he'd just be another one of 160 talent.
We'd be able to talk about him in a couple of years about being released from WWE. That'd be cool.
That's what it is. Like, I don't see it. I don't see it. If he goes to WWE, I don't see them using him to his full potential. And I think he cares too much about wrestling. I think I think he cares too much about the actual in-ring competition. To actually go to WWE, because you go to WWE when you want money. You don't go to WWE when you want your career to explode or you want control over your character. So,
I will defend WWE on this. NXT is still unbelievably entertaining,
but not like it was at one point.
I still say like Johnny Gargano and The Way. Like, come on, that is some hilarious stuff.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I haven't been watching, so I can't comment. Literally, I have not watched in such a long time.
Man, there's some hilarious stuff with Johnny Gargano and The Way. If anybody ever wants to give NXT a shot, give it a shot. It's freaking hilarious.
Oh, absolutely. Watch what you like. Watch what you want to watch. Like what you like. Go for it. Wrestling is wrestling, man. Like, if you're watching wrestling, you are helping the industry.
Yes. That's my like.
Same here.
It doesn't matter what you watch. Like, this is what really pisses me off. It doesn't matter what you watch. If you like WWE, good for you. If you like AEW, good for you. If you like Impact, good for you. You know, whatever you watch, the more content that's out there for people to watch, the better it is for the wrestlers and the more work opportunities they've got. Also,
always remember, keep an eye and an ear out for your local indies and support your local indie scene, because a lot of those guys, any of those guys could end up being in AEW, in Impact Wrestling, in New Japan, in WWE. You never know, man. There's some incredible talent.
NXT
What?
NXT UK.
NXT UK. In
Or
your case,
MLW. You know what? I'll throw in MLW.
MLW. Yeah, absolutely. There's some great like women's wrestling, man. There's great promotions everywhere for everybody now. Like there's amazing work everywhere, and there's amazing people everywhere you look in this industry.
All right.
So, moving on, I guess. Our little uplifting yay wrestling in general. Fire and Flava are talking backstage and to each other, and then the champs come in.
We have a simple little, exchange between the two wrestlers. I loved it.
I think it was pretty good. I like how they're just like, oh, Jordan, you're an afterthought, 100%. Like, the only reason why, like Rachel, like, you deserve our respect. You're good. You're a second generation. You know what you're doing in this ring. Like, you owned me. You kicked my ass. Good job. Tasha Steelz even shakes her hand. Like,
yeah, it was a good little thing. I liked it.
And all the meanwhile, throwing that, as much as they're giving compliments, they're throwing that much shade over at Jordan. I loved it.
My only problem is, again, we've got Tasha Steelz versus Jordan Grace next week.
Yep. But like I said, at least we haven't seen that combination yet in a singles match. And I'm looking forward to watching it at least.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a great match.
I'm just upset they're doing the same thing with both tag belts at the same time.
I'm just a bit on board of it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But and then we go into Moose versus Storm.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this match was a good match, not match of the night, but a very good match. Moose just destroys Storm's leg. Like, just works the leg the whole match. Moose went for the lights out. Storm blocked it, lands a last call super kick, but he falls the wrong side to not be able to get the cover, and he can barely stand up. The ref almost calls the match, but Moose actually hits the lights out for the win.
It was a solid match. I mean, sad thing is we all knew who was going to win this.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very obvious who was going to win this. But, man, James Storm, say what you want about him, in tag team wrestling. He's one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time. But singles matches, he could still put anybody over.
Oh, yeah.
And he put Moose over, like, unbelievably. Like, he made Moose look really intense, and I love it.
Honestly, to me, it was a very straightforward, fairly basic match. It's the type of match you've seen 1,000 times, but these guys perform at a level that makes it like a 4 out of 5 match automatically. Like, it was good. It was a good, entertaining, standard match. It's one of those things where I'd just be sitting in the crowd, not making a sound, completely captivated by what's happening in the ring. Like, because that's the kind of wrestling that makes you do that. I think it was really good. I loved it.
I think the most important thing of this match, I think we can all agree, was the message that needed to be sent in this match is that Moose is not fucking